Just come to a comfortable seat, whatever that means to you. You can sit with your legs crossed. You can sit up on your shins. You can sit with your legs extended. You can sit up on a block or a blanket. You can remove the meat from your sit bones if that's more comfortable for you. And just go ahead and lower your gaze or close your eyes. And just drop into yourself. Do a quick scan of your body, see if there's any places maybe a little sore or stuck that you want to work on today. Bring that piece of string right from the top of the head, pull that spine nice and long, feel space in between each vertebrae. When your body is comfortable, go ahead and start to draw your attention to your mind. Remove anything that's happened today, anything you're doing after this, next week, next month, last week, yesterday. Just let it all melt away. See if you can focus in on your breath. Give your mind something to think about. Just start by paying attention to that breath. No need to change or judge it. See what it's doing. When you're ready, you can transition your breath. So maybe it's a little slower, maybe a little fuller. Maybe instead of breathing into the top of your chest, you're breathing into the bottom of your diaphragm. Maybe you add a couple seconds to each inhale and a couple seconds to each exhale. To imagine gold bands around your biceps. Whatever they look like to you, just giving you power and energy and making you strong. I'm going to use this today in our practice. Maybe your gold bands get energy from that string coming through the top of your head. Maybe each breath, inhaling all the good, exhaling all the bad. Inhaling, charging up those armbands. Exhaling, removing any weakness or doubt. Gently raise your gaze or open your eyes. Bring your awareness back to your breath and your body. Take one big clarifying inhale and just exhale, flutter out through the lips. One more like that. Inhaling here, fluttering out through the lips. All right, starting with the arms raised up into the air. Want to check in with the ribs, tuck them back. Feel that stretch in that upper arm. From here, bend one arm down, place the opposite hand on the elbow. You can rest the arm on the top of your head if you'd like. Just gently position that elbow down a little bit further. If you'd like, you could always come into a bind or half bind by reaching that other arm to the back. And when you're ready, we'll take a great big inhale, release your arms, do a big T, bring them both up again, bend that arm down, placing that hand on the elbow. Option to come into that half bind or bind. Again, bodies are different. I don't quite reach on this side. And by not quite reach, I mean there's like a foot in between my hands here. It's right here. This is what's stopping it. Whatever's broken here. And then when you're ready, we'll take a nice big inhale, come to our T. Exhale, give yourself a nice big hug. It doesn't matter which arm's on top, we'll do both. We're gonna walk those fingertips back around the shoulder blades if that is available to you. Sigh those shoulders down away from the ears. On your next inhale, nice big T again. Exhale to hug the opposite arm on top. Again, walk your fingertips back behind you if that's available to you. Shrug those shoulders down and breathe here. And your next inhale, make a nice big T. We'll bring those palms up. So we're pushing walls away from us on either side. Check in with your shoulders. Make sure you're making a straight line from your shoulder to your elbow to your wrist. And when you're ready, you can bend those wrists, rotating those arms all the way at the shoulders, internally and externally rotating those arms. On your next exhale, go ahead and bring those arms forward as though you were in a downward facing dog. And see if you can feel the internal and external rotation here. Now imagine your hands are steady at one spot. See if you can internally and externally rotate those shoulders in the socket. Dogs incoming. On your next exhale, we'll go back out to our T, bring our arms in like our big strong man arms. We'll come down to robot arm, a nice big right angle on either side. I know, mama, let it out, let it out. Yes, babies. Exhale, rotate the arms. Melt those shoulders away from you if you're trying to shrug up to your ears like I was. Yes, let it out. And then we'll switch off. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can go ahead and really work that bicep every time you come up if you'd like. You can really come in with those squishy arms if you want. And when you're ready, we'll release the arms aside. Give your shoulders a nice shake, maybe forward and backward circles. I know, mama. And we'll take the legs out in front and just give your knees a little shake back and forth. Check in with that spine. We want to get nice and tall here. We're gonna bend forward. Your bend can be as deep or as shallow as you'd like. If you'd like to keep your spine nice and tall, and just kind of come forward a little, it's perfectly fine. Go ahead and round in your back. Bring your head back up into the air. From here, we'll place the hands behind you, thumbs towards your hips, fingers back behind you. Maybe you're pointing your index finger straight back behind you. And just shine that chest towards the ceiling here. Nice big inhale. Nice big exhale. And when you're ready, we'll come back to a seated position. Take one of your knees, bend it. Grab that thigh, hug it into your chest, nice and tight. Bring that foot over top of the other leg. Place it back down. If you're like me, take that, yeah, same thumb as hip, or just, sorry, as leg, and place it in your hip here and just kind of pull it back in space. Maybe it doesn't feel like it actually moves, but maybe in your mind it moves. We want to feel space in the upper leg here. We'll take the opposite arm as leg. Hook that knee and twist to the back of the room. Inhaling for a nice long stretch. Exhaling to twist to the back. Inhale, stretch. Exhale to twist. One more, inhaling, nice long stretch. Exhaling to twist to the back of the room. On your next exhale, you can come back, give that leg a little hug, reach it on back over. And switch the crossing of your legs, hugging that leg into the chest, placing it on the opposite side of the leg. Maybe you want to give your thumb a little hook and pull this hip back in space. You know, maybe a micromillimeter at a time. Really pressing that sit bone into the ground. We're going to take the opposite arm as leg, place it, hook it on that knee, and twist to the back of the room. Breathing here. Exhaling to twist. Inhaling nice and long. Exhaling to twist. Inhaling long. Exhaling to twist. On your next inhale, come on back to the center. Give your leg a little hug and bring it back to its starting position. Did we bend? We did not. Okay, keeping your legs as they are. And lift the arms up into the air. Exhale down to one side. Reaching that opposite arm overhead. Option to bring that pinky so it is parallel with the mat. You can always rotate it back down about halfway to your leg. Flexing those feet, feeling stability in the legs here. We'll inhale back up to the top and exhale to the opposite side. Your next exhale, we'll windmill and walk our fingertips towards the legs. You can place your hands on your shins, on your ankles, or on your toes, whatever's accessible for you. Breathing here. On your next inhale, release your hands wherever they are. Roll back up to a stand. We're going to take our hands, place them on the shoulders. So our elbows are kind of, I don't know, in front of our face here. We're going to do a couple awkward motions. First, bringing those elbows together in front of your nose, and maybe in front of your forehead, maybe in front of your chest. We'll go ahead and go in front of the nose again. Try to go in front of the forehead and then down in front of the chest. You can release your arms, give yourself a little shake out. And we'll come to tabletop pose at the center of the mat. All right. Placing the hands into the mat. Nice neutral spine here. Knees are underneath hips. Imagine your index fingers? No. Point your index fingers towards the front of the room, as though your index finger was parallel with the mat and your knee, tops of the feet, pressing down into the mat, and then press those fingertips into the ground. push yourself out of that shoulder girdle. And get a nice neutral spine. And when you're ready, we'll shine that chest forward, drop that udder down, and come into cow pose. Breathing in cow. Feel the tailbone completely tilted here. Your low belly relaxing, chest shining forward. See if you can make this very passive pose active by engaging the hands, pressing them into the ground, engaging the shins, pressing them and the tops of the feet into the mat. From here, with your knees on the mat, nice and sturdy, see if you can come to a nice neutral spine and roll slightly forward. From here, I want you to bend your elbows and come into like a midget chaturanga. No need to drop all the way to the ground if you're stronger than me. But maybe just give a little bend in your knee back. Maybe this will help really get into the position of chaturanga. And when you've had enough of that, give your arms a little shake out. And we're going to press into the cat pose, holding that belly button towards the spine, really folding in the back here. Option to come up on tented fingertips. Option to tuck the toes under. Really feel like a cat here. Breathing here. Option to press back or forward in this shape. Keeping your arms nice and strong. In your cat here, maybe your fingers are tilted. Can you externally rotate those arm muscles? Can you internally rotate them? Do you feel like you're falling in when you internally rotate those arms? Do you feel maybe like you're a little bit stronger if you can externally rotate them? It's just a question. You don't have to feel stronger. On your next inhale, go ahead and release everything. Come into that cow pose. Exhale, rounding into cat. Inhale, cow pose. Exhaling into cat. Exhaling, oh sorry, exhale for yeah. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. You can keep this motion up at your own pace and your own speed. You can work on coming forward to maybe a little chaturanga there. Work on coming back and stretch those arms out. You can work on coming up on tented fingers if that makes you feel stronger. When you've had enough of that, you can come to a neutral spine. We'll tuck the back toes under and lift the knees up for a downward facing dog. You can pedal out the feet in down dog. When you're ready to come to stillness, we'll lift those heels in the air and exhale to reach them back to the mat. Here in down dog, can you externally rotate those upper arm muscles? Both? Good. shoulders. That way. Can you check in with your neck? Can you nod your head? Yes. Can you shake your head? No. Can you move your head? I don't know. On your next inhale, we'll roll forward to plank pose. Checking that those index fingers are pointing forward towards the front of the mat. Go ahead and put a slight bend in that arm. Come down as much as you're comfortable and push back up to downward facing dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next inhale, we'll roll forward to plank and come up on those toes and come into a little chaturanga and press back to downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. I may be bending my elbow like a half an inch, but it feels like I'm bending it about 6 inches. One more time, we're gonna roll forward to plank. We're gonna play with that chaturanga. Maybe you roll over your arms. Oh, maybe you accidentally fall all the way to the mat. Or maybe you drop your knees and just practice. Yes, and just practice kind of bending your elbows with your knees down. And when you've had enough of that, we'll press back into downward facing dog. Give those hips a little shake. We'll lift one leg in the air for three-legged dog. On your next exhale, we're gonna roll forward to plank, but we're gonna bend that knee and bring it up to the elbow. Exhale, back to three-legged dog. Inhaling, bending that knee, bringing it up to touch the elbow, and exhaling back to your three-legged dog. One more time like that. And exhale back. Go ahead and bring your leg back down to the mat. We'll bring the left leg in the air for three-legged dog. Bend that knee, exhale, roll forward to plank, bring that knee to the elbow. Inhaling, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhaling, knee to elbow. And inhaling for a three-legged dog. Bringing that foot back down to the mat. We're going to roll forward to our plank pose. Bend the knees. Lower them down to the ground. Bend your arms if you'd like. I'm trying to bend my arms. Bend your arms if you'd like. And we're going to come back into our tabletop pose. Coming back into our tabletop, we're going to lift the right leg at a 90-degree angle into the air, flexing that foot, checking in with that low back, and making sure your hips are even. Breathing here. Go ahead and exhale to touch those toes back to the mat. Inhale the leg in the air. Exhale down. Inhaling up. Exhaling down. Inhaling up. Exhaling back down. Inhaling up. One more. Exhale back down. And inhale up. Drop that leg back down to your tabletop pose. You need to give your wrists a little break. And if you're feeling very weak, go ahead and do that. All right, back in your tabletop, we're gonna bring this right knee to the nose. Exhaling, emptying out the lungs, emptying out the low belly. Breathing here, checking in with those hips, checking in with your balance. You have equal weight in each wrist. And inhale, we'll drop that knee down. Exhale, bring your knee to your nose. Inhale, knee down. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhaling your knee down. Exhaling your knee to nose. Inhaling your knee down. Exhaling your knee to nose. We'll do one more like this. Inhaling your knee down. Exhaling knee to nose. Inhaling back down. Coming back into your tabletop pose, we'll come into fire hydrants on the right side. When you're ready, we'll go ahead and lift that right leg to the side. Exhale, back down. Leg lifts to the side. We'll go inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. One more like that. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Switching to the opposite side, lift that left leg into the air. Right angle in that knee. Keep that foot flexed, breathing here. Exhale, bring that knee back down to the mat. On your next inhale, lift that leg to the side. Exhale, back down. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling down. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. Two more like that. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling back down. Inhaling to lift. Exhaling back down. You okay? Bloody garbage. It's my advice. When you're ready, we'll bring that knee to the nose. Then your next inhale, we'll bring that knee back to the mat. Exhale, lift the knee to the nose. Inhale, down. Exhale, lift the knee to the nose. Inhale, back down. Exhaling to lift the knee up. Inhale, back down. Exhaling up and inhaling down. One more like that. Exhale up and inhale down. Final leg lift out to the side. Inhaling up, breathing here. Exhale down. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. Inhale to lift. Exhale down. Inhale, lifting. Exhaling down. Do one more like that. Inhale to lift it. Exhale back down. When you're ready, we'll tuck the toes under and press back to downward facing dog. You can give your hips a little shake out here. You can give your knees a little back and forth, a little side to side. When you're ready, we'll hop or step through in a forward fold at the front of the mat. This forward fold can be as shallow or as deep as you'd like. Your knees can be straight or they can have a slight bend in them. Or deep bend if you prefer. Try not to collapse in the arches of the feet. Imagine the top of the head is being pulled down towards the ground. And the bottom of the body is being pulled by the ankles down towards the ground. Your next inhale, you can gently roll up. Actually, just place your hands on your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. Pause in that flat back, and then you can gently roll up to stand. Give your knees a little shake out, give your hips a little shake out. We'll inhale the arms above the head. And when you're ready, we'll exhale to fold all the way forward again. You fold a little bit more deeply this time. Or maybe your knees are a little less bent. Perhaps you grab opposite elbows or lock your hands behind your back. On your next inhale, we're going to gently roll up to a standing pose at the front of the mat. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. We're going to check in with the feet. Make sure all four corners of the feet are touching the mat. Lifting up in the arches, not falling in. Knees are not knocking together. If you have a block, you can always place it in between your knees for a little bit of stability. Imagine you're pressing blocks away with the edges of your feet. Once you feel nice and sturdy in that lower trunk, make your spine nice and tall. Relax your shoulders down. Then inhale your arms above your head. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back to plank pose. Roll forward, bend your elbows. Try not to flop down on the mat like I did. And come into your Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling for upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing back to down. Inhaling here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you have forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, bring your hands to your shins for a nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to stand. On your next inhale, bring those arms above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward, Utkatasana. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Roll forward for your Chaturanga. Inhale for upward facing dog and exhale to press back to down dog. Nice deep breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you have forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward. And inhale to gently roll up to stand. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling your arms above your head, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhaling, folding forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Roll through your vinyasa. Inhale for a low cobra, exhale, back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward to a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhale your hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhaling to fold forward and inhaling to gently roll up to stay. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Feet are not sinking into those arches. Pushing blocks away from either side. Arms lifted above your head. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhaling, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, steps back to your plank pose. Roll through your vinyasa. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog, and exhaling to press back to down dog. Nice deep breath in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can lift your hands on your shins, nice long flat back. Exhale to fold forward and inhale to gently roll up to stay. All right, we'll do one more like that. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling the arms up above your head. Exhaling to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Go through your vinyasa. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog, and press back for a down dog. Breathing here. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. Turn a forward fold at the front of the mat. Inhaling to place your hands on your shins for a nice long flat back. And exhaling to fold forward. On your next inhale, gently roll up to stand. Your legs will shake out, give your arms a little shake out. Get yourself a delicious beverage. And we'll go into our flow. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Your feet can be hips width distance or wider. We will be going into chair pose. You certainly, if you would like, can heel toe your feet so that they are together. Standing in mountain pose, lift your arms above your head for Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend your knees, bring that bum down, arms straight out in front of you, chair pose. Breathing in chair, nice deep breath here. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Run through your vinyasa, coming up for a low cobra, upward facing dog, then press back to down dog. Lifting that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, exhale, bring that foot forward. Help it if you need to. From here, we'll rotate that back heel down. We're just gonna inhale up into our warrior one. We're gonna exhale down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. From here, we'll roll forward to plank. Lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, or run through frame vinyasa. And press back to downward facing dog. Breathing here. Your next inhale, we're gonna lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. On your next exhale, we're gonna bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Come into your nice sturdy low lunge here, rotate that back heel down. Just gonna lift up into our warrior one and exhale back. Woo. Down to our back to frame that front foot. Just kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank, going through your vinyasa. Coming up to upward facing dog or low cobra. And exhaling back to downward facing dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forward. So you're in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, we're going to gently roll up to stand. All right, standing at the front of the mat in mountain pose. You're going to inhale the arms above your head. Exhale to full. Oh, nope. Exhale, come into chair pose. Nice big inhale in chair. Exhale to fold forward. Plant your hands, step back, plank pose. Lower your knees, chest, chin. Or go through Chaturanga Dandasana, upward facing dog or low cobra. Pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift the right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Again, we're going to go into that low lunge, rotate that back heel down, lifting up into our warrior one. Exhaling to frame that front foot, kicking that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Going through your vinyasa, rolling forward to plank, dropping your knees, chest, and chin, while coming into Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhaling for a low cobra, upward facing dog, exhaling to press back to down dog. Breathing in down dog. On your next inhale, we're going to lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale to bend the knees, swing that foot forward. Help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down. Come into your nice, sturdy, low lunge. Inhale into your warrior one. Exhale back down to frame that front foot. Kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Rolling through your vinyasa. Chaturanga or knees, chest, chin. And meeting back in downward facing dog. Breathing in down dog. On your next inhale, bring that left leg in the air. But then we already did this, didn't we? I got yoga brain a little bit. All right. Ah! On your next inhale, we're going to hop or step forward. So we're going to forward fold at the front of the mat. Give your hips a little shake here. We're going to gently roll up to a stand. I'm going to do 2 more of those. No way. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Let's inhale the arms into the air, Urdhva Hastasana. From here, we're going to bend the knee coming into chair pose. Can you get that cat pose in that hip? Can you get that cow pose in that upper back area? Exhaling, hands to the mat. Nice big inhale here. Plant your hands, go through your vinyasa. Step back to your plank pose, lower knees, chest and chin to the mat, or come inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And exhale, pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, bringing that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, open the knee, swing that foot forward. Rotating that back heel down. Feeling nice and sturdy in this front leg. Feeling nice and secure in that back leg. Coming into that warrior one again. Feeling those hips move back in space. From here, we'll bring those hands back behind you, interlace the fingers back there, and come on down for humble warrior. When you're in your humble warrior, can your right angle in that front knee be a little bit more right angle-y? Keeping that same right angle in your knee, can you press up to your warrior one and press out to your warrior two? Your next inhale will reach forward and then back to reverse your warrior. And then we'll come back to our warrior two. Straighten that front leg and come down to your gentle triangle pose. From here, can you bend that front knee? Reach your arm over for a side angle. From here, we're going to rotate down and frame that foot, front foot. Ooh. We're going to kick that front foot back to make back downward facing dog. On your next inhale, we'll bring that left foot into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down, glue that outer edge of that back foot onto the mat. Keep a right angle in this front knee as you come up for a warrior one. From here, you can come into your humble warrior, interlacing your hands behind your back. Different thumb on top this time. You make that right angle in that front knee a little bit more like a right angle. Holding that position with your legs, can you press up into your warrior one? Can you press out into your warrior two? You press forward and then back, coming into that reverse warrior. Giving that knee a rest. Coming forward and then down into triangle pose. On your next exhale, bending that front knee and coming into your side angle. On your next exhale, you can frame that front foot, push that front foot back to meet the back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank and going through your vinyasa. Meeting back in downward facing dog. Breathing 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards or in a forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can gently roll up to stand. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhale your arms into the air. Exhale, come into your chair pose. Nice deep breath in chair. Exhale. Hold forward. Place those hands on the mat. Step back to a plank pose. Go through your vinyasa. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra, upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that right leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend that knee, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. Rotate that back heel down, make sure you're in a nice, sturdy, low lunge here. Front knee is bent at a 90-degree angle, pressing into your warrior one. Exhaling down to your humble warrior. Inhaling up to warrior one. Exhaling out to warrior two. Inhaling forward and back to reverse your warrior. Exhaling forward and down for triangle. Inhaling up and down for warrior two. Inhaling down or exhaling down and over for side angle pose. On your next exhale, you can frame that front foot, kick that front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank and go through your vinyasa. And we'll meet back in downward facing dog. 3 breaths in down dog. On your next exhale, you can hop or step forwards or forward fold at the front of the mat. On your next inhale, you can roll all the way up so you're in a standing pose. My baby girl at the front of the mat. All right, standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. You're gonna inhale the arms into the air. Exhale, coming into your chair pose. From here, we're gonna bring our hands to heart center. Flip that elbow around one side and come into a chair pose twist. On your next inhale, we'll rotate back to our chair pose and exhale down to the other side. On your next inhale, we'll come back to chair pose. Exhale, plant your hands on the mat, step back to a plank pose. Go through your vinyasa or lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhaling for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And exhaling, pressing back to down dog. Okay. On your next inhale, let's lift that right leg in the air, bend the knees, swing that foot forward, help it if you need to. You're gonna rotate that back heel down. Make sure you have a nice sturdy leg placement here. We're gonna press into the legs to lift the chest off the ground. Come into your warrior one. Exhale down to your humble warrior. Inhale back up to your warrior one. Exhale out to warrior two. Inhale back to reverse your warrior. Exhale forward for warrior two. Sorry, exhale forward for triangle pose. Inhale again, exhale forward, triangle pose. Take a nice big inhale here to come into warrior two. And then exhale down for side angle pose. We're gonna windmill our arms down. Kick this front foot back to meet the back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Bend that knee, swing that foot. Oh my goodness, I skipped your vinyasa. Don't worry, I'll put another one in there. Rotate that back heel down. From here, we're gonna rotate our arms up. So we're in warrior one. Exhale. Grab your hands behind your back. Weird thumb on top this time, coming down to humble warrior. Inhaling up for warrior one. Exhaling out for warrior two. Nice big inhale here. We'll go forward and down for triangle pose. Your next inhale will come to warrior two, and exhale to side angle. From here, you can rotate down and come into a wide-legged forward fold at the side of the mat. Walk your fingertips back behind you if you'd like to give yourself a little bit more deep of a stretch. Your next exhale, walk the fingertips forward and we'll heel to the legs together as comfortable as you want them to come into a squat. Give yourself any support you may need. Closer your heels are to the ground, the better. Oh, that's actually really nice. On your next exhale, you can place your hands on the mat, push your bum into the air, remove any props you may have, and we'll come back to a downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll roll forward to plank, go through your vinyasa, lower your knees, chest and chin to the mat, inhale for a low cobra, and exhale to press back to a downward facing dog. Three breaths in down dog. And when you're ready, we'll hop or step forward to the forward fold at the front of the mat. And when you're ready, we can gently roll up to a standing pose. Beautiful. All right, standing into mountain pose at the front of the mat. Hello, Mama. Actually, yeah, standing mountain, we'll go ahead and go into balancing poses. All right. Standing in mountain pose at the front of the mat. Check in with all four corners of one foot. You can wake them all up. Bring that arch really high in the center of the foot. You can kickstand that heel to your ankle. You can place your foot against your calf, or you can bring that heel into the inner thigh, as long as the foot is not touching the knee. Hands at heart center on your hips, or branches blowing in the breeze. When you're ready, you can remove that foot from your inner thigh. You can bend that knee towards, swing that leg towards the front, unbend that knee, lift that leg up a little higher, maybe a little higher, maybe a little higher, and let it go. Give your standing leg a little shake. Maybe you want to give that outside leg a massage. And we can come to the other side. You can either kickstand that heel against the ankle, bring the foot to the calf, or press the heel into the inner thigh. As long as the foot is not hitting the knee, it should be fine. Hands can be on your waist at heart center or branches blowing in the breeze. When you're ready, you can release that foot from the leg, bring that knee forward, lift the leg, lift a little higher, maybe a little higher, and let it back down. You can give your standing leg a little massage, give that leg a nice shake out. Hi, mama. And we'll come back to mountain pose at the front of the mat. Inhaling here, lift the arms above the head. Exhale to fold forward. Inhale, hands on shins, nice long flat back. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands, step back, downward facing dog. Rolling forward to plank. Optional vinyasa here, you can lower your arms or your knees, chest, chin. Inhale for a low cobra or upward facing dog. And press back to down dog. On your next inhale, we'll lift that right leg into the air for a three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knee, swing that shin forward. Set up for pigeon pose. Make sure that back leg is nice and straight behind you. Give yourself any support you may need. Lift that chest up high and exhale down into pigeon. On your next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest into the air. You can come into a tabletop pose. You can tuck those toes under, press yourself up into downward facing dog. Optional roll forward to plank, lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a look over, upward facing dog. Exhaling, pressing back to down dog. On your next inhale, lift that left leg into the air, three-legged dog. Exhale, bend the knees, swing that shin forward, help it if you need to. Set yourself up nice and comfortably. Make sure that back leg is coming straight out behind you. Lift your chest into the air and fold forward for pigeon pose. And next inhale, you can lift your head, neck, and chest. Press your knees back so you're in a tabletop pose. Tuck those toes under, press yourself back into downward facing dog. From here, you can roll forward to plank. Last vinyasa, optional. Lower your knees, chest, and chin to the mat. Inhale for a low cobra. Then press back to downward facing dog. Roll forward to plank pose and gently lower your body down. Rolling over on to your back. You can windshield wiper your knees from side to side here. When you're ready, excuse me. And when you're ready, we'll come into a gentle inversion, whatever that means to you. You can come up in a supported shoulder stand by oh, hello, thank you, Trey. By lifting your back up, you can place a block under your sacrum. You can place your legs up the wall. You can just lift your legs in the air or simply lift your feet above your hips. When you're ready, you can lower your back and your legs back to the mat. You can windshield wiper your knees out from side to side. And we'll come into our bridges. Make sure you can just about graze your heels with the tip of your finger. Just do a couple of tilts and tucks with your pelvis here. And when you're ready, you can tilt your tuck your pelvis all the way up into a bridge pose. Option 2. Interlace the hands behind your back here. Bring your shoulder blades underneath. Breathe here for 3 to 5 good breaths. Take this arm. Lower that spine back down to the mat. Give your knees a windshield wiper back and forth. And when you're ready, when you're ready, Go ahead and lift those hips into the air again for your second bridge pose. 3 to 5 good breaths here. Exhaling that spine back down to the mat. Come on, guys. Inhaling up for one more bridge pose. Let it out. One more. And relax that spine back down. Windshield wiper those knees back and forth. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and peg those knees into the chest, nice and tight. You can rock back and forth. You can bring your knees into a little circle. Maybe give yourself a little back massage doing each side. And when you're ready, we'll drop the knees to one side for your gentle twist. Breathing here. No. Okay. On your next inhale, you can bring your knees back to the center. And when you're ready, you can exhale them back to the other side. On your next inhale, come back to center. Give those legs a nice hug into your chest. You can rock back and forth. And make a little circle with your knees. And when you're ready, we'll just reach to the insoles of the feet here. Rock back and forth. Coming into a happy baby. You can practice reaching one leg out at a time in your happy baby. Maybe you'll feel a stretch in the back of the thigh, maybe the outer quad in the front. And try to pull those knees into your armpits. You can just gently rock back and forth. You're ready, we'll go ahead and relax your legs down. Come into your final resting pose. I'll end a little early tonight because my dogs are making me crazy. On your next inhale, you can bring your awareness back to your breath. Make small movements in your fingers and toes. When you're ready, you can roll onto one side, using your arm as a pillow, and take one breath in the fetal position. And then using that same slow quality of movement, you can come up to a comfortable seat. We'll go ahead and close with one Om, hands to heart center, inhaling for Om. Namaste.